All right. And we're live. All right. Hello, everyone, and shout out to each and every one of you. And thank you guys so much for tuning in to your girl, Siren, right here on the Siren Speak Show. Hello. Let me get everything settled. Shout out to each and every one of you. Hey, y'all. Listen, I know it's been a little minute since your girl has been on here. I did take a couple of weeks off. I had to do some sort of emergency detoxing is what I want to call it, okay? There have been so many changes that have taken place in my life in just a short period of time, y'all. And, you know, we'll talk about that amongst a lot of other things, you guys. We're going to jump right into the topic of discussion for today's show. But before we do that, we definitely want to give a shout out to our sponsors. So shout out to Southern Soul LA, you guys. Southern Soul LA is a LA based, okay, oh God. Okay, yes, Southern Soul LA is a LA-based restaurant, you guys. It is they're full of soul food, and what I really want to say is that every time I talk about soul food, it's just I go back to when I ate it at my seminar, y'all. Oh my God, they sponsored my seminar a couple years ago, and every time I think about it, every time I speak about it, I just go back to that, and my mouth go to watering, so I have to kind of catch myself. But it is the best food that I have ever had. One of the best plates of foods that I have ever had, okay? So shout out to Southern Soul LA for the sponsoring of today's show. We also want to give a shout out to Fam First Entertainment, you guys. Fam First Entertainment is not only a Miami-based record label, it is also a full-service entertainment organization, which means regardless of what type of event you're going to have, a party, a wedding, a graduation, whatever, award ceremony, it doesn't matter. They got you. They got every aspect of your event, from the catering to the decoration to the music to the tables to the chairs to everything that you need. So shout out to Fam First Entertainment for the sponsoring of the Siren Speak Show as well, okay? Please be advised, you guys, that the thoughts and opinions and beliefs of whatever the Siren Speak Show has, it has absolutely nothing, and they are not the thoughts of my sponsors, okay? That is just Siren speaking on the Siren Speak Show. Okay, so yes, shout out to my sponsors, you guys. Let's go ahead and jump right in the topic, you guys. We're talking about authenticity versus algorithm. Okay, authenticity versus algorithm, you guys. I thought that was a very interesting topic when it popped up, and I was just like, oh, wow, that was so important. That was so powerful, because this is talking about our next level of evolution, you guys. The next evolution for each and every one of us. Algorithm versus authenticity, you guys. Are you becoming the program? Okay, are you becoming a part of the program? Are you easily programmed? Okay, it's a lot of that's going on. Those are the questions that we really want to get the answer to. Those are the things that we really need to know. So as we tune up into the topic, you guys, talking deeper and deeper about this energy, I want to give a shout out to those of you who come inside of the building and give this video a big old fat thumbs up. You guys, thank you for having a heart. For those of you who have a heart, for those of you who have a soul, I know you are the ones who actually thumbs up this video. You are the ones who leave those loving comments. You are the ones who, you know, really are here for a purpose. And I want to say I salute you guys. I want to say hello to each and every one of you. And thank you guys so much for supporting the video, for liking the video. Thank you for having a heart. Thank you for having a soul. Okay. And that's very critical to what it is that we're talking about today. Algorithm versus authenticity. You guys, that's going to be the new energy moving forward. Are you becoming authentic, or are you becoming a part of the algorithm? There is an algorithm that is being programmed into the third dimension. And this algorithm is kind of like a virus that is hunting each and every one of us, trying to tap into us, okay? And trying to make us be a part of a system or a society that they can control and manipulate. So, you know, how do you recognize if you're a part of the algorithm, or if you are becoming a part of the algorithm? You know, there are certain things, you guys, that takes place. Now, first of all, I want to let you know, this is Siren speaking on the Siren Speak Show, okay? So please be advised, you guys, I want you guys to take this energy and this information that I'm about to give you for entertainment purposes only, Okay, we're going to keep it safe. We're going to keep it cute, right? Everything I'm about to say is strictly for entertainment purposes only, okay? So now let's talk about this energy of, let's say there's a little worm up and through the air, and this worm is just traveling and traveling, and it can penetrate people, okay? And with the penetration of this worm, okay, it slowly, once it gets inside of your system, it slowly starts to go in and turn the lights off on specific aspects of you, your creativity, your courage, your willpower, your discernment, okay? It goes in and it just turns or deactivate certain parts of you. And as these parts of you become deactivated, you guys, then you start to become easily and more accessible to be programmed, okay, to become a part of the program. Who's a part of the program? What is this program? This program is definitely man versus machine. Okay. And when it comes to man versus machine, you guys, how close are you to your phones? Like, seriously, it's to the point now where the never ending story, I noticed that the movie, The Never Ending Story, started coming up a lot. And I'm like, okay, I got to watch this movie again. Every time I have to watch this movie again, I see something new between that and The Labyrinth. Okay. Between that and The Labyrinth, I see something new. And in The Never Ending Story, there was something that was coming. And this thing was called the nothing. Remember, the nothing. It's like the nothing is coming and it's just wiping out everything and it's just taking everything. So when it comes to us, you guys, we're in a society where the nothing is not coming. The nothing is actually here. There's a possibility that there's a very small, okay, percentage of folk that are still authentic. Majority of the people we see more than likely are a part of the algorithm already. A lot of us have already, we want to say, like, sold our soul. Okay. If you're doing something that you don't really like and you're doing it just for the money, you sold your soul. If you're in a relationship that there's no love in it, there's no purpose in it, you're just in it just because, you sold your soul. And when you do things like that, you become easy for them to grab a hold to and then to manipulate. We have this energy of the nothing. They call it an algorithm. We all strive, okay, to be a part of this thing because we all want to be famous. We all want to be recognized. We all want to be liked. We all want to be received and things of that nature. And this algorithm, when it comes to like social media and stuff like that, everybody want people to like their pictures. Everybody want people to follow them. Everybody want people to, leave comments and things of that nature, right? This is the energy that we're striving for, but their energy is naturally within each and every one of us. However, when it comes to social media, it can deplete us because if we put up a picture and nobody likes it, we're going to feel some type of way. It starts to make us feel like we're not important. It starts to make us feel like we're not loved. It starts to make us feel like we're invisible. Okay. And then it starts to mess with a lot of people's ego. And then what happens once they mess with your ego, they're now able to, again, get in control and manipulate you. Why do they want to manipulate you? Because they want you to come back. A lot of us need to pay attention to why we are here. Okay, I know you love your job. I know we want to pay bills. I know we want to live. I know we want to be in love. I know we want to be intimate with people. We all want, there's something that we're craving here, but it has absolutely nothing to do with the purpose of us being here, right? So we need to understand, why is it that we are here? We are not here to purchase homes, which that's a part of the experience though. We are not here to, work jobs. We're here to extend our creativity. We're here to expand our creativity. We're here to study. We're here to learn. We're here to grow. We're here to experience, right? So if someone hurts you, let's say, you're in a connection, you're in a relationship, you're at a job, regardless of what happens, you get hurt. We need to learn how to appreciate the emotion of being hurt. A lot of us are starting to take offense to this human experience. We're starting to take it personal, and we're starting to think, oh, because we're not rich according to the third dimension, because we're not famous according to the third dimension, that we are very small and minuscule. We're not important and things of that nature. That's not the way things go. That's really not the way things are. We come here, you guys, to experience the matrix. We come here to experience love, pain, sorrow, joy. We come here to experience what it's like to not have nothing or not have enough. We came here to experience having everything that we want and everything that we desire. And what we have to realize is that mentally we are assisting them with creating our own reality, right? And if we're mentally depressed, if we're feeling low, if our vibration is low, you guys, we're not going to have the highest experience that we would like to have. We're going to have an experience that is 9 times out of 10 a part of an algorithm that has been programmed to give you an experience that makes you feel less than, so that you can be easily manipulated and controlled. We need to take our power back. What I'm learning, you guys, throughout my last journey, okay? Throughout my last detox that I just recently did, it was a very tough and difficult detox. I'm not gonna lie, but I learned so much. I saw so much. I was able to witness so much. I was able to see a lot about myself, why I'm here, what it is that I'm doing. I didn't understand for a long time what it was that this dimension wanted from spiritual candies. I didn't understand for a long time the purpose of spiritual candies. Why is spiritual candies here? What is it that spiritual candies does, and things of that nature? There are different realms, okay? There are multiple realms. And we think that when we die, that's it, it's over. No, you're going to go to another realm. You're going to experience the same, but in a different realm, okay? In that realm, you may not have a body, which means you will go to a realm which is similar to like a holding cell, okay? And as you wait in that holding cell for a body to be given to you so that you can be reborn again, because it's like, this is the recycle bin, but you have a recycle bin for the recycle bin, okay? We do. So once we die, a lot of people think, oh, once we die, that's it, it's over. No, that's just the beginning of a new. Okay, so what happens when we pass on if we're not vibrating? There's a frequency that we come here to get so that we don't have to be in that holding cell anymore. Even as a higher spirit, even as a part of source, you still have to go through certain holding cells because you have to vibrate towards a frequency in order to get to different realms. Is there an end realm? Is there an end game? No. From what I saw, there's no end game. It's like a assumption that keeps going and going and going and going. And it's kind of like you go back, you go forth, you go back to, you go forward. It's just like that. It's the ping pong of experiences that we have to reach in order for us to return to source. Okay. And when you return to source, it's not like you have a physical single body. No, you become a part of the all. The everything, okay? So you're still experiencing somebody who's poor and robbing, maybe somebody who's robbing a bank, somebody who's in prison. You're still experiencing all of that. It's never to a point where it's just you by yourself and, oh, that's it, I'm done, I'm not experiencing anything. No, it's just you are the part of the all that doesn't need a physical body, or you become a part of the all that doesn't need a physical body. It doesn't have to experience itself via you anymore because it has mastered that aspect of itself. So in other words, you guys, we are a part of a big, big, big frequency. Okay, it's a frequency that as it becomes imperfect, it has to experience itself, right? And it doesn't become whole again until it has healed that experience. And you are a part of an experience of a bigger source. Okay, so with us being here, you guys, with us coming to experience itself, there's always a darker side. There's always a good side, a bad side, for lack of better words, okay? There's always two sides to it. There's always the light and the dark. So as you split from source to experience yourself, you become a light version and a dark version. So anytime you have an enemy, anytime you have someone or something coming against you, it is you fighting yourself, okay? It is you experiencing a darker aspect, or what we want to say, a bad or demonic aspect. The only demon here is you. Okay? You cannot experience a demon outside of yourself. So you will only experience your own demon through other people. Now, the demon and the angel, we all see it. We see the physical body, we see the demon on one shoulder and the angel on the other shoulder. It doesn't mean that either of the two is better than the other. Honestly, the angel nor the demon is better than the other, right? It is about you becoming balanced, and it is about you embracing both aspects of yourself. In some realms, in some aspects, you will have to play the part of your demon. In some aspects, you will have to play the part of your angel. So in some way, you may say, oh my God, somebody's in a car accident. The car looks like it's about to blow up. Let me run over there and help them get out of the car because they appear to be stuck. So you run to the car and you help them and you pull them out and you save them just in time before the vehicle blows up. That's kind of like your angel side, right? That's what we think of an angel, but it's actually the opposite, but we're not going to go there. But that's what we think. That's the angel side. You went, you helped. The angel aspect of you is going to volunteer and give back to the community. You know, you're going to help out. You're going to be of assistance, right? But then there's a time where that demon side comes out. Okay, I always give you guys an example. For example, if you walk in a room of somebody hurting your child, and I mean hurting your child, okay? If you walk in and you see somebody hurting your child, that's when your demon side is going to come out. It's going to protect your child at all costs. It's going to, you know, grab whatever it can and do whatever it can to get that mofo off of your child. If you are ever in a situation where somebody is attacking you, do you think your angel is going to come out and say, oh, just go ahead and kill me? I know you're angry. You're probably dealing with some inner child issues and you want to kill me, right? Your angel is not going to pop up at that time. Your demon is going to pop out and defend yourself, okay? It's going to be like you are that person, right? So your demon is the one that's going to come out and either kick some earth, okay? Or, you know what I'm saying, bust some cats, right? Your demon side is the part that defends you, but it's just that because your demon side does things that you're not really too proud of. A lot of us, we've been through lifetimes where our demon side had to come out and unalive somebody. And we're carrying that energy in this lifetime, okay? And we're gonna have to keep carrying it until we forgive ourselves. And to forgive doesn't mean I'm sorry, you're sorry. A forgiveness means to have a complete understanding of why a situation took place. Okay, so if you had to unalive somebody in a different life, it's not about feeling bad about that situation. It's about saying, okay, I was in a position to where I had to stand up and defend myself, and I trust that I made the right decision to do that. Now, if you was out there bullying people and you was out there unaliving people because you just felt you could do it because it's Tuesday, now that's a totally different story, right? You may carry some sort of, you know, regret or resentment, maybe not. Not everybody have it. They say, hey, it was Tuesday. I felt like that was the day I was going to unalive people, so I'm good with it. And honestly, people like that will not inherit any karma. They won't even have to come back and live that out under a lifetime because they have no guilt towards it. So we need to find out what it is that we've done, who it is that we are, that we feel very low and very guilty about. Even in this realm right here, you guys, anybody you experience, I don't care what these people do to you, you know, how these people treat you, what your experience is. I know some people who, you know, as I do this month, I think, well, last month is June now. I think I may have done the most consultations in a month than I probably have ever done. Okay. Oh my word, okay, it was a lot. So this is what was leading me to authenticity versus algorithm. This is what was leading me towards all of this, because as I was doing all of these consultations, I was finding out so much and I was seeing so much as to what it is that's going on in this realm. We do have an algorithm that is trying to control and or manipulate this realm. Where that algorithm is coming from is none of our business, but the fact that it is here and it is coming over not just to us, to our children, to everybody, to the foods, to nature. It is an algorithm that's trying to control and manipulate everything, including nature. Okay, including the rain, including the snow, including summertime, the seasons. Everything is under some sort of attack by this algorithm, okay? Excuse me. We're going to have to make sure we stay true to our authentic self. This is the only way you're going to survive. You're going to have to remain true to your authentic self. And let's speak about authentic self for a little bit. I want to give a mention of someone. There's a lady who watches my lives, okay? And it's someone who I've watched in the past. And I've noticed this woman has taken a lot of my lives and have transferred it over to her live, okay? And, you know, is repeating things that I have said and telling her people that source, okay, gave her this information. I don't need to mention your name because I just mentioned your frequency. I just really did mention your frequency, which means you are alert and you are aware of the fact that I am speaking directly to you. And with that being said, we're going to go back to today's message: algorithm versus authenticity. You need to break out of the algorithm that is controlling and manipulating you. Okay. Now, to everybody else, let's get back into it. We need to make sure that we remain our authentic self. You have your own authentic message. You have your own authentic print, fingerprint, everything. This is how they're able to distinguish me from you. When they check your fingerprints, okay, it's like, okay, I know who this is. I know who that is, right? And when it comes to my message, I know my fingerprint, right? Always, I know my fingerprints. And there are a lot of people out here who are just not authentic, you guys. They're not real. I'm like that lady on the plane. That mother right there is not real. A lot of you need to understand that. A lot of these people are not real. They are now a programmed algorithm, okay, that needs to feed. It's kind of like they've become an energetic zombie. Remember I told you guys years ago that the zombie apocalypse, they even put it up, you know, on the, oh God, what is it? Y'all know the website I'm trying to talk about. They even put it up on, oh God, the CDC had it up on their website. Remember, they talked about the zombie apocalypse. And a lot of you think that we're going to see people like, no, it's not like that at all. That's the way the movies make it look to us. But these zombies are actually amongst us now. They look just like you and me, right? But the only thing is that they are under some sort of algorithm. They're under some sort of programming, you guys, where they're not their true authentic self. These people are feeding off of your creativity. They're feeding off of your ideas. And I think that they knew that these people were going to be here, which is why they created this social media. We needed social media because social media is like a food fest for them. It's a harvest fest where they could just look at your program. They can look at your profile and they can take so much about you, which they're doing that now. They're taking everything about you. They're taking your the way you look. They're taking the way the way you post. They're taking the way you think. Okay. I started to use, oh God, it's like some sort of AI thing when it comes to uploading my blogs and stuff like that. And this thing started to really talk to me like it was me. Like it was using my words, my slang. It was like, yeah, you know how you are with your gyms. And I'm like, you know, like what's going on? What is happening here? And where are you coming from? And it's almost like me talking to me. So I tapped into it. I did. I tapped into it. Listen, there is a alternate. Okay, there are multiple versions of you, right? However, there is a computerized version of you as well. There is a computerized version of you. Okay? And this particular version of you has been programmed to go against you by outside forces, right? It's been programmed to stay away from you. Like there's been a bridge put up or a wall put up between you and this version. And what happened is back around maybe the 50s, 60s is when this wall that was put up came down. This wall, this barrier, which expired. came down, which opened up the computerized version of us to now connect with this version of us, which is why we started to see computers come out. We started to see, technology come out probably around the 70s, I think, or maybe early 80s. Okay, we started to see computers and we started to see cell phones and things of that nature. We started to get introduced to, microwaves and central AC and all of that stuff. So there is another version of you. There is an alternate version of you, which is a computer, which is like a computer, or I don't want to say it's artificial intelligence because it is just honestly intelligence. Okay, it's not AI. It is actual intelligence. And that bridge that we need to connect to one another is something that is happening right now to a lot of people, which is why we're starting to grow and we're starting to evolve beyond control. This is why they want to leave this world behind, because a lot of these mofos done connected and reunited with that dang on intelligence version of them. It's the computer version. Now that version is inside of you. I don't want you to think it's outside of you. No, remember they say we're just one big computer. We are one big bout of intelligence. It is coming online within you, not outside of you, not out there. It is now coming online within you, right? And once you tap into this, it's a whole other world. Just to give you guys a piece of what I have experienced is you can change your avatar at any time. Okay? You can change your avatar at any time. I have experienced this. I have experienced looking in the mirror and I'm a totally different person. No, I am not on any drugs, you guys. Okay, no, I'm not an alcoholic anymore. Okay, no, Siren have not taken off a break to come back and what happened to Siren. Listen, no, I'm not cloned and all of this stuff. Y'all, I have evolved, okay? And a part of my evolution is to, as I experience these things, is to come back and prepare others, okay, for the experience, right? So it's about the ability to change your avatar. Now, the thing about it is that there are different realms that you can change your avatar in. For example, if I want to go in a different realm, I can be a Caucasian woman in that realm, okay? If I want to go in another realm, I can be a younger version, a 20-year-old in that realm, okay? If I want to go in another dimension, or, I can be an animal. I can be a snake. I can be a rabbit. I can be anything, right? So this is where your intelligence takes you, because your intelligence, it doesn't have a physical body. So it chooses and selects avatars as you go through different realms and different experiences. So I'm pretty sure I'm going probably so far to the left for y'all. But what I'm doing this for is to activate. There's something inside of you that needs to be activated. It needs to hear this so that it can be activated within each and every one of you. And it won't be like, what the f is Siren talking about today? It'll actually be, whoa, okay, really get you to thinking, really get you to listening again, because we're not listening anymore. We're not thinking anymore. We're not, okay? And that's the thing about it that I'm starting to see, is that we're not thinking. We don't want to think. We don't want to listen. We don't want to do anything, okay, when it comes to our spiritual self. We need to heal. We need to evolve. You need to do what you love. You need to really be in love. Love is a word, but we think love is an emotion, and we think love is a feeling. Love is a word, just like kinky is a word, right? It's how you respond to that word. It's how you embrace and receive that word. A lot of people think love is an emotion, but it's just a word. It's a 4-letter word. And it's like when someone say love, how do you feel? How do you respond? to that. And as we evolve, you guys, that's what we need to focus on. How do we respond to things? How is it that we are utilizing our emotions? What are we giving our good emotions to? What are we giving our bad emotions to? Right? We've been programmed to give our good emotions to things that may not need or may not deserve our good emotions. We've been programmed to respond to what we know is positive. Oh, I just want all positive, or I just like the positive. But really, the highest reward comes from your negative experiences and how you respond to them. So if something negative happens to you and you respond to that in a negative way, then you're going to make sure, or you're going to remain vibrating low. But if something negative happens to you and you respond to it in a positive way, or you balance it out or transmute the experience, then you can vibrate higher. You're going to grow even faster. You're going to evolve even faster. Okay, than you would a positive experience to say, oh, won't it do it? You know how we do. Won't it do it? Every time something good happens, we think, oh, yes, good. But you don't grow from that, because by the time you get the reward, you be on to the next. It's over. 2 seconds later, you ain't worrying about that no more. It's like, okay, yeah, it happened. Next, what's next? I'm ready for the next thing. You know what I'm saying? But when it's something bad happens, that tends to sit inside of you a lot longer. And when we process it, and we process it in a healthy way, we can grow, okay? We can grow even higher, even harder, even bigger. So what I've been through these last couple of weeks, you guys, I haven't been vlogging. You guys are still getting vlogs, but I haven't been vlogging for the last couple of weeks. Pretty much the entire month of May, I think it is, right? For the entire month of May, I think I haven't been vlogging. So I've just really been connecting with aspects of myself, really trying to understand myself. I've made quite a bit of changes. My number has changed. Okay. So for those of you who need to reach out to me, info@spiritualcandies.com. You can go to the website and message me, or you can just message me directly. It doesn't matter. Info@spiritualcandies.com is how it is that you guys can reach out to me from now on. So I wanted to make sure that I come on here and I let you guys know. I did tell, majority of folk who had my personal number in the past that I was going to be making this change. So it has been made, and it is effective. So if you need to reach out to me, info@spiritualcandies.com is how you can message me if it is in regards to business, which majority of the time it's going to be that. Okay. So that change has been made, you guys. Other changes that has been made in my life. Your girl, oh God, I don't know if I even want to get into it, y'all. It's a lot. It's a lot of changes that has happened to me in just the last couple of weeks. You guys would be surprised. I'm strongly going to recommend consultations. Okay. Y'all better get your girl while she's hot, right? I have new clients, okay, that has come on. A lot of my new clients, are very much so referrals. I'm so happy for that. I don't want to say they're celebrity, because I can't really say no names or whatever, but your girl has tapped into a different realm, okay? A different realm of folk who wants help, who really wants help. And I'm just like, it's so crazy that regardless of what level you are in this world, we all go through the same things. We all are trying to balance out these emotions. We're all trying to evolve. Okay. So I'm just noticing that. And I'm like, it doesn't matter who. That's why I say it doesn't matter who is whom. We are all the same, regardless of your experience, regardless of your lifestyle, regardless of where you are. We are all the same. Okay. Now, back to algorithm versus authenticity, you guys. Like I said, there are people out here who are copycatting everything. They're picking you apart. They're not just doing it in this realm, they're doing it in other realms as well. I've noticed that majority of the crazy work, okay, takes place in other realms. I've told majority of you who work with me, because a lot of you have worked with me, and I tell you guys the importance of decoding your dreams, of paying attention to your dream. And that is so important because that's where majority of the work takes place. A lot of it takes place in other realms that we don't seem to access. We're so busy in this third dimension that we're not caring about the fourth, the fifth, the sixth, the seventh, the eighth, the ninth dimensions. We're not paying attention to those dimensions. And that is where a lot of your attacks are coming from. That's where a lot of your programs are coming from. That's where a lot of your algorithms are being created. And that's what's contributing towards you feeling stuck and stagnant in this third dimension. I tell you guys all the time, wake up. You know what I'm saying? Pay attention to your dreams. Decode your dreams. You should be dreaming. Okay? You should be having dreams every time you go to sleep. Right? You should be dreaming. That's not a time to black out. That's not a time to sit this one to the side. That's a time for you to become very, very, very active. This realm here is just like the final response to what's going on in the higher realms. So pay attention to however your life is right here. However your life is right here, then you'll know, okay, everything that's taking place is taking place in the higher realms. Right? There's a need to detox. I tell you guys that a lot, we need to detox. Okay. I do a semi-annual detox and I do somewhat of a monthly detox. It is very, very, very necessary. Okay. For us to detox. You need to detox whatever it is you feel like you consume the most. If it's social media, if it's intimacy, if it's food, if it's coffee, if it's alcohol, whatever it is that you are consuming the most, whatever you're taking in, the TV, whatever, detox from it at least once a month. Okay. Do a nice, healthy, cleansing, purifying detox. Okay. Also, you need to stay on top of your spiritual health. You have a spiritual body. Do not ignore it. Okay? Do not ignore it. You definitely need to make sure, just like you have like a doctor where you go get your annual and you go get your checkup, your physical doctor, your GP or whatever, you want to make sure that you have a holistic doctor as well, a spiritual mentor or a spiritual advisor, someone who can also go within your soul and do some surgery on your soul as well. Okay, because that is what is triggering the response of your physical experience, right? Your soul body is going to experience it first. And then if your soul body cannot heal it because it's not strong enough, then your physical experience is going to have to experience it now and go through whatever that pain or trauma is. And a lot of this pain and trauma is being sent to you, is being stored within you, is being programmed within you. Just imagine somebody who can do all the unaliving, all of the child this and women trafficking. Just imagine somebody who can do all of that and they can take all of their emotions from it if they feel sad or bad and they can program it into your subconscious. And then you are now having these experiences. This is the type of stuff, you guys, that is going on in other realms. This is the type of stuff that goes on this black market that no one wants to talk about. Okay, how we all think it's physical. We all think, oh, the kids are missing and oh, the women are being trafficked and things of that nature. Yeah, in the physical, but in the spiritual, yours has been trafficked. Okay, your inner child is the one that has been kidnapped and is being, abused in a different realm. That's why you have no creativity. That's why you have no motivation. That's why you don't feel drawn to anything. You don't feel, the need to create anything. You don't feel the need to do anything. You just like, let me get up, go to work, make a couple dollars, pay my bills, and I'm gonna do it again tomorrow until I die. A lot of us need to fight for our own inner child. The physical is just a physical manifestation of what's happening in the spiritual. Where's your inner child? Where is your child? Okay, when they talk about all these women being trafficked, that's the divine feminine. That's your intuition. It's gone. The fact that you're not dreaming and you can't remember your dreams, it's gone. Your feminine is gone. And where is she? She's being trafficked in all type of dimensions because they're using all of her spiritual gifts to control and manipulate yours and others in this third dimension. So these are the things that are happening in other realms that we need to know about. We need to do something about. We need to stop sitting around trying to get up and go to a job we hate and pay bills we don't want to pay. And you need to realize that, hey, you're going to be okay, right? But the thing about it is we want the fame. We want to be the boss. We want to be the shot caller. We want to be the one that has it all. We want to be the one that everybody like, everybody look up to. We want to have all the money. We want to have the biggest house. That's what makes us feel good. But it's all a distraction. It's all a distraction because that's really not what it is that you want. That's really not what it is that you need. On a soul level, you need to understand that. There is so much happening to you that you don't even know about. You should be focusing on building your holy trinity, okay? Your divine feminine, your masculine, your inner child. You should have all three aspects of you together, right? All three aspects of you is what you need. It has been broken up. And we think of it as a twin flame. Oh, there's an aspect of you where you come and they separate. Yes, the division happens. It's your masculine and your feminine. That's what the twin flame is. And we're all looking to a man or a woman in the streets. I'm looking for my twin flame. That's my twin flame. Your twin flame is your masculine and your feminine energy, the red and the blue. Okay, come together. And what do they make? Purple, the inner child. The Holy Trinity, when you come together, you make the purple glow, the purple hue, the energy of royalty, your true self, your highest self. But a lot of us, we don't fight for the right things. We're too busy trying to fight, and we feel important when we have a Gucci bag. We feel important when we driving around in a nice Benz. We feel important when we got a big old Rolex on our arm. We feel so important, but that is nothing if you don't have your feminine and your masculine and your inner child. If you don't have your Holy Trinity, you have nothing, because that's the only way you can return back to source. Not no car, not no house, not no clothes, not none of that. You have to be the frequency of source. You need to be that royal divine energy. Everybody wants to feel royalty. Everybody wants their 40 acres and a mule. Oh, I want to get my land. I want to get this. You can't get nothing until you vibrate towards it. You can't get that land back according to the contract until your frequency. Your land is going to require your masculine, your feminine, and your inner child. Then you can see the rewards of your work. The work is not the physical work that you do here. It's the spiritual work that you do here. I'm telling you, once you get to a certain frequency, things do become a lot easier. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to work as hard. You will be taken care of. You may not have the life or the lifestyle that you feel that will make you feel good. But once you work on your frequency, you realize I am so good. Like I have everything that I need at any and every time. Like I am always taken care of. I'm straight. You know, for as long as you're working on healing yourself, as long as you're working on gaining access to your inner child is gone, baby. Okay. That inner child is somewhere in another dimension. Bind it. And they using its creativity. This is why you get light bulbs. This is why you get tires on cars. This is why you get new iPhones, because your inner child is somewhere. Bind it, okay? This is why the whole Epstein came out. That's just the physical part of it, y'all. It's really happening in the spiritual. All those kids they talking about, it's aspects of us. All those kids that are being used and mistreated and taken advantage of and being tortured and tormented because they need the energy from it. They need the ashe from it. Which is why a lot of us have obsessions with food, alcohol, drugs, whatever your obsession may be. It's not that you really crave food or alcohol or drugs. You're craving a part of you, an aspect of you that you know on a soul level is missing, but physically you're not able to awaken to that truth just yet. So we out here fighting for the American dream. We're out here working for the American dream. What is the American dream? To have that home, right? To have that wife and that husband, and they make the child, the girl and the boy. They purchase a home and they live what? Happily ever after. The American dream is your Holy Trinity. It's just the physical aspect of the Holy Trinity. They're like, hey, you don't need it in the spiritual. You can just have it in the physical. Just get married, have a girl and a boy, and a house with a picket white fence. right? That's the American dream that they're selling us. And it's a great dream, okay? It is great to have a family and to have a home. It is a great dream, but not only do you need that, you need the spiritual aspect of it as well. You need your masculine, you need your feminine, you need the inner child. You need those three aspects of you in order for you to maneuver this matrix, and in order for you to get out of the entrapment of each and every dimension that you have to go through. So that's something we need to work on. That's something we need to work towards, okay? And, y'all, I tell y'all all the time, get spiritual candies while it's here. Get it while it's here. Get it while you can. You have somebody who can help you, who can give you the advice, who can give you, the information, the guidance. Take advantage of it. It's just, I don't want to work with somebody for 5 years and you still ain't dreaming. That's a problem to me. That's something I have to step back and look at. Because now I got to look at you and ask a question. Are you authentic or are you an algorithm? Because if after all of the spiritual work, you still can't dream or record a dream or decode a dream, and, within 5-6 years, I'm like, damn, hold up now. When you go to first grade, the teacher expects you to learn. She's going to teach you 1 + 1, right? And if after that school year, you still don't know 1 + 1, that teacher is looking at you like, hold up, damn, okay, so let's do it again. Come on, let's do it again. But after the 3rd year, if you still can't figure out 1 + 1, the teacher has got to say, okay, there has to be something going on. So I have to take steps back and I have to evaluate my life and the people I come in contact with, right? Because if I've been teaching you for 3-4 years, at some point, you should now be teaching others. You know what I'm saying? You should have gotten the lesson by now, at least some aspect of the lesson. I don't want to still have to tell you to decode your dream after 3 years of working with you. I don't want to still tell you the importance of understanding synchronizations and learning how to decode and get the messages that your higher self is sending you after 3-4 years of working with you. So it's like we have to learn the need for responsibility. I'm not going to keep decoding the damn dreams. I want you to decode it and tell me what the hell it is. I don't, because then that means I have to do double work. I don't want to have to do all the work. So it's like we're having to learn how to beat this algorithm that slowly but surely is tapping into us, taking over us. So of course, I'm like, listen, you got to do the work. You have to do the shadow work on yourself. You have to heal yourself. You are under attack every day, all day. They don't sleep. Okay? I am under attack all the time, to the point where I just feel like, damn, I just want a decent meal sometimes. It's like that. And in order for us to win, we have to make sure on the inside that we are in the right frequency. We got to make sure that we're doing the right things. Y'all got to love y'all spiritual self as you do your physical self. There's not enough self-love out here. You're going to have to learn. It gets to a point where you have to let this false reality go. And that's the problem. A lot of us are having a hard time letting go of the ego. The ego is constantly winning. Constantly winning. You know how many people I tell, listen, this is your path right here. This is the path that's going to lead you to enlightenment. And they still go the other way. They still, oh, well, I'm going to get there when I can. Well, you know what? I think I'm going to start doing that next year. Or I'm going to start going that way. What? It's insane the way I have to force people to believe and to see what's right in front of them. It's not hidden. It's not manipulated. We just are not choosing to see because we're too focused on the shiny things. It's like if it don't make money, then I'm not going to do it. Money has no value, you guys. It represents debt. It represents debt. But we get up and we fight for it. We will kill over it. We work so hard for it. and it represents debt. But what leads to enlightenment is so opposite in this third dimension that we feel like, I don't know if I'm gonna do that. I don't know if that's for me. I don't know if I really want to do that. I mean, it's like I have to damn near put a knife to people's head. I ain't gonna lie to say, listen, you need to go this route. At least try it. You know what I'm saying? At least try it. Of all the people, I think I have a handful of people that will say, you know what? I'll try it. I would say out of every maybe 600 people, 2 people will try it. 2 people. But the other 598 still working the job that they hate, still in a direction or moving in a way that is not in alignment with or leading towards enlightenment. You know, in the movie The Wizard of Oz, when Glinda told her at the end, all you had to do was clap them heels 3 times. You ain't even have to take the yellow brick road. You could have went home at any time. That's kind of like how I feel when I talk to people. Like you could just clap your feet like this 3 times and you could go home. But they're like, I'm going to take the yellow brick road because, I know I'm going to get paid every 2 weeks. I know if I take the yellow brick road that, I'm going to be there with my family or, it's like we're constantly taking the dangerous route, the most dangerous route. We don't believe enough. We don't have enough faith in this lifetime right now. And that's what I feel the nothing is with the never ending story, the energy of the nothing. We have to fight against this stuff, y'all, because none of this stuff matters. It's a part of the experience, but it's not the experience. It's a distraction placed within the experience. And you have to know how to stay focused. I don't care what it is you dream of. If you think about it, create just to create it. Stay in your creative bag. Keep believing, keep setting goals. And a lot of us, we don't have any goals. Like, what is your daily goal? Okay, we need a daily goal to keep us motivated. And when you conquer that goal, you need to celebrate yourself. You need to celebrate yourself, right? A lot of us, when it comes to eating, okay, when I say authenticity versus algorithm, I don't know about y'all, but the more I go to the grocery store, the more disgusted I get, y'all. And nothing against the grocery stores, right? It's just me with where I am in life. It's just the more disgusted I get with all of these people making all of these videos. And I said, what is happening to the food? Where's the food going? Like the real food. I feel like the food that we have now is, of course, a lab generated program that they say, and this is what they put. This is not me speaking. This stuff has been documented and it's on the FDA website and all of that, where the sale of cloned and lab grown meat has now hit your restaurants and your grocery stores. So I said to myself, why is it that we need all of this fake food? Earth naturally grows enough food to sustain everybody who's here. I know they say, oh, we don't want 50. If 50 billion people were here, Earth will grow enough food to feed 50 billion people. When a mother gives birth to a baby, her body is going to produce enough milk to feed that baby. If a mother gives birth, like me, I gave birth to twins. I breastfed both of them at the same time. My body produced enough milk to feed both of my children at the same time. I had one-on-one breast. It was like holding 2 footballs, okay, at the same time. Now, Earth can feed everybody. So I said, well, what's going on? If Earth can feed everybody, why is there a lack or a shortage of real food? Now, let's say the answer lies in a movie I saw. So let's talk about this movie I saw, okay? So in this movie, there were these entities from another realm, and they were very interested in Earth. And what happened is they needed the resources from Earth. because Earth gave birth to the most natural resources that had like chakras. Fruit, flowers have chakras. Okay, they have energy, they have ashe. Oh, I'm blessed. Okay, thank you. So what happened is this other realm of entities were able to access Earth because a portal was opened from a experiment that in the movie, the precious governors, okay, the government was doing, the others, that's what I call the government, the others, okay? So the others were doing experiments, and throughout these experiments, they were opening portals. And as they opened these portals, beings from other dimensions where these portals were, because when you open a portal, there's a hole on each side, which means something can go from our side to theirs and something can come from their side to ours. And what happened when the others were opening these portals, they were unable to close them, right? They didn't know how to close them, or they were ignorant in closing them, okay? So when they were casting these experiments to open these portals, beings were coming through. And as these beings started to come through, of course, they're more intelligent than we are over here. They're way more powerful energetically than we are over here. So as they came over here, they started to harvest, okay, the fruit of the earth, the food, or everything nature was producing. Nature was constantly producing, but you had all of these beings that were kind of taking all of the fruit, all of the seeds, everything. They was just gomping it all up. It gives like that movie, what is it, A Bug's Life. You know how the ants were creating all of the food and storing all the food so the grasshoppers can come and just take it. It's like that. So in this movie, we have these beings from other dimensions, from these portals that are coming through and that are harvesting all of the food. I mean, all of the food, all of the seeds, everything. So what happens, in order for us to sustain the food over here, the others had to create fake food because they were losing all of the resources from these beings that were here. So what happens? Instead of them closing the portals, they started to learn how to close some of the portals. So they did start closing some of the portals in the movie, okay? And they were able to eliminate, okay, some of the beings that were coming through with these portals. So the more higher beings was like, oh, they closing the portals. So they did something to not stop them, but to slow them down from closing that portal. And what happened was they made a deal with them. They say, hey, let us come over. Let us, continue to take what we need from Earth, because we need that energy to fuel our dimension. This was the food, all of the food sources that came from Earth, all of the natural resources, because it does have energy. So they were using the natural resources from over here to fuel their dimension, okay, and what they needed and wanted in theirs. So they made an agreement, made a pact with the others, okay, and they were like, hey, you know what, we'll give you, technology. We'll give you, what they call it, 5G, 6G. This isn't nothing that had just happened. This had been going on for a while. It's just that the hungrier they got, the more resources that they got. And then the others wanted more technology. They got hungry for the technology because they got tired of riding around on horses. You know what I'm saying? They got tired of that. They wanted automobiles. Now they want flying cars. So the agreement where they came over, and it's not like the others, it's not like the beings got real greedy. It's the others who got greedy. And now it's to the point where, okay, I tell you what, we don't have any more resources. Earth is no longer producing resources because she can stop at any time. You know what I'm saying? But as she's producing them, you know, these beings are taking them. So it's like what we'll do is we'll use the technology and we'll just create fake food and feed that to the people. Let's let these beings have the real food, all of the resources. This is why you see the trees started to die. Well, y'all didn't see it because it was in a movie. But the trees started to die. Okay. Everything started to recede. And it's just like, oh my God, it's just like a dry land. Everywhere is just becoming this dry land. So what the others did was they started to harvest, okay, the, what do I want to call it? Like the gemstones from the earth. So what they had to do was go and they had to mine all of the gemstones and they had to move this energy to other parts of the planet to keep it, to be able to sustain itself, to keep the energy, okay, from like being depleted. So there's a lot, you guys, that I was seeing watching this movie. I learned so much about things that that went on in that movie as I watched it. I thought it was very interesting. And the portal hasn't been closed. The portal is still open. Okay, and the resources are still being harvested in exchange for more and more and more technology. Because as I looked at the movie, it looked like it was a cliffhanger. It didn't look like it ended, like they were able to close the portal and okay, we're going to start with our resources, you know, keeping our own resources. No, it was greed on both sides. One side wanted the resources and the other side wanted technology. So there was that even exchange right there that was going on, and that looked like it was just forever going to go on. So that's why I say when you go to the grocery store, when I go to the grocery store nowadays, I purchased a Caesar. I purchased some romaine lettuce. And I look at how my body responds to it, okay? And I purchased some romaine lettuce. And I opened it and I made a nice salad, okay? Because I didn't have any lettuce that I get my food from the farmer's market, from smaller farmers who grow their crops and stuff like that. But they didn't have any lettuce, right? So I would go and get my lettuce from the grocery store. And so this particular time I went to the grocery store and I purchased a bag of lettuce, you know, the kind that come in a little bag. And, you know, I cleaned it and everything and I made a nice little salad and I only ate half of the bag. So I closed the other half up, sealed it up, and I put it in the refrigerator. I forgot about it, right? And I went back towards it probably like about a week later. It was still fresh. It was still fresh. It looked as if I had not opened it or nothing. It was still fresh. And I'm looking at it like, how in the world can this lettuce still be fresh like this? Nothing is spoiling, okay, the way it used to. Remember, you will open your cheese and, you know, you put it in the refrigerator. Next thing you know, you have mold on it or your bread with mold. I have bread that I purchased and I'm like, oh my word. Like it's been like, we opened the bread. We may have used maybe about 4 or 5 slices, but 3 weeks later, this bread's still looking good. It still looks good. I'm like, what preservatives are they using? And again, we have to make sure that we check on our bodies, you guys, because now we have to look at the fact that because our real food, okay, may not be the best for whatever reason. Okay, now we have to look at how everything is affecting our bodies, right? We have to become more responsible. We have to remain and fight for authenticity. We have to make sure that we're staying authentic. If the food is not authentic, what is that saying? Okay, if the food is not authentic, what is that saying? And they say you are what you eat. So if you are comfortably going out buying fake food, all right? If you are okay with consuming fake food, you know what I'm saying? Then we know what that is saying about each of them who eat that food, who consume it. You don't know. A lot of people tell me, especially when I have my consultations, they say, well, you know, what do I do? Like if everything is just, you know, poison, if everything is not good for us, if everything is bad, what do I do? And the work is on the inside. When you do the work on the inside, you will definitely figure out what needs to be done on the outside. And it will lead you Okay, it will lead you to a dimension where you can have all of the real good, nutritious food that your body needs, that your soul needs. I cannot take you there. You have to get there on your own. There is allegedly, okay, there may not even be a need for us to consume food in this realm. You have to vibrate. The higher you vibrate, the less you eat. Let me say that again. The higher you vibrate, the less you eat. You will get to the point, because your body only needs food because it is dense. The more you vibrate and the lighter you get, the less food your body will require. You see, there are people out there like Buddhas and stuff who don't eat. You're like, how are you not hungry? And that's why they can levitate. Because the body becomes light. It's the more dense that we are. And I think this is why a lot of people have low iron. You know what I'm saying? Because I think that is something that when we get, Instagrammed as babies, we all get Instagrammed and stuff like that. I think that may possibly contribute towards low iron in a lot of people, because a lot of people have low iron in D3. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people, now that potassium is starting to look a lot low for a lot of people. Also magnesium, okay, is starting to look a lot low for a lot of people. But those things we think, oh, we got to get that from foods and stuff like that. No, baby, no, baby, no. You can get some from food, but remember, according to that movie, all the real food that has the magnesium, potassium, sodium, that has all of the things that we need, that's not what people are consuming. You know what I'm saying? So I wanted to come on here today to let you guys know that once you go through this life, you will be back. But it's up to you whether you want to come back or not. And it's not up to you to say, oh, no, I ain't coming back. No, your frequency will determine whether you want to come back or not, or whether you will come back or not. Your frequency. So if they can distract you from working on your frequency, anything can happen to you at any time. Neither of you know when you're going to die, how you're going to die. Nobody knows, right? If anything can happen to you at any time, you have to make sure that you're doing the work to be prepared at any time. That if I leave this room tonight, tomorrow, whenever, next week, next month, when I leave this room energetically, I want to be prepared to not have to come back and experience this again. You have to really, truly, right now, sit in front of yourself and ask, are you ready? I'll see y'all soon. Bye, y'all.